currently standing in our production room, which is just outside of our sanctuary. And in this room it is actually my office every day throughout the week. But on Sunday mornings, this is where everything happens for the broadcast side of our production. So our broadcast audio sits here. We have our director, switcher, and CG operator. The video switcher we are using is a Ross Carbonite Black Solo. It is a little bit older, but has 8 channels on it. I also want to mention our comm system is a combination of some older 2-wire telex network stuff, as well as some of the newer side of the RTS Odin that we're using for the wireless side of our comm set. Here's our DVR computer that sits on the desk. We use this for our DVR every week and a number of video editing and whatnot whenever we need for video processing throughout the week. It also runs our Tally Arbiter backbone, which is part of our Tally system that communicates to all of our cameras between our switcher. We're running for our presenter for our slide presentation. In our video rack, you'll see I have a 40x40 Blackmagic video router. This also shows some of our video sources as they're going out to the lobby and to the projectors. So our network infrastructure and our comm system up there. We're also running and using Resi. This is a Prism encoder that we've got for our online broadcast. This is our front of house booth. So this right here I'm standing at right now is our lighting position. We're running a Grand MA on PC3. You'll see we have 2 different monitors here that control different options for our lights with show functions, cue stacks, and more macros and tools that we use along the way as we're programming. This third monitor here, you'll see we actually have a few other things running on it. This is for our pixel grid system. We installed a pixel mapping grid on our backdrop that allows us to do some extra functions and be able to light up some of our props and things a little different. This here is our front of house audio position. We are running Allen Heath D-Live C3500 for our front of house console. And we use Adobe Audition as our multi-track software. Also on this system, we have a Waves Super Rack sound grid system for our effects and processing. How we have our board laid out, we have our mics and vocals on the top layer, our drums, second layer, guitars on the third layer, keys, organ, horns, and other tracks on that next layer down. Then we have our tracks and a backup section for where we have our broadcast vocals. And this is also a alternate mix position for broadcast when I've only got one audio engineer having to mix both front of house and broadcast at the same time. We use the broadcast channels, these bottom 2 layers. And we divide everything out from there into DCAs. We have split from drums, bass, EG1 and 2, keys, acoustic guitars. Then there's a full band DCA. Our vocals, vocal effects, band effects, our broadcast aux to be able to control what we're running in just broadcast when we need to, and the master DCA. From there, I have our effects returns as they're coming back for drums dry, drum smash, drum verb short, drum verb long, bass dry, bass crush, instrument verb, and then our verb room, hall, plate, and delay. Here's where all of our, this layer is where we keep on all of our effects sends as they're going over into waves. The fourth layer down doesn't have anything on it. Then I have our backup effects. So this is, we kind of have something configured on our system so that with the press of one button, I have what we call a waves bypass. Essentially, if something were to happen with the waves processing unit mid-service, we're able to hit one button and it just kind of snaps everything out of waves and uses everything in the onboard processing for effects. That's the last layer down. I have our RTA mic coming in. That's what you'll see. We use a lot of times up here on this screen. There's a calibrated microphone we keep right here that kind of shows an RTA. Then I've got our LTC, which is we use often for our lighting when we've got multi-track audio coming in to be able to control our lighting. Then this is our broadcast talkback mic, MD talkback mic, and lavs group going into the ears. And then our PA is split out here for fills, subs, and main. Quick overview of how we've got our wave system configured. We kind of see we've got running a couple plugins here for most of our vocals. We've got the F6 RTA, CLA76, CLA2, de-esser, and then we'll run the Waves tune occasionally to help with some of our vocal processing. We've got all of our room verbs, plate, delays, lav processing. We really don't do a whole lot to it. We've done a de-esser and a vocal rider on them. Our drums we're not doing a whole lot of things on. We've got an H compressor, Kramer Pi running on drum smash. Drum verb short, we're using the Abbey Roads chamber. Drum verb long, we're using Abbey Roads plate. And just a couple different other plugins on a few of the other drums you can kind of see here. Instruments, we pretty much kind of use the F6 RTA across the board on just about everything. CLA76 on a lot of things, and we've got a few others running around. Our acoustics, we also use Maserati, which is one of the acoustic plugins we really like. That you just like the sound of. Helps to level everything out so it sounds nice and even. We use these user keys to be able to quickly throw in and out of keys for our Waves tune processing. So for example, I can just hit a one button, it automatically throws it turns all the Waves tune on and sets it to the right key for that song. It allows us, when we're running back and forth through different songs, we're able to quickly, with the press of one button, change the key in all 6 vocals. We're running the Shure ULXD unit microphones, and I've got the 2 racks of the 4Ds on here. Because they're pretty much direct line of sight, we've just got them all racked up right here, and the antennas sticking off the back. So we're not doing a whole lot of, I don't have an antenna line array or anything like that. It's just kind of pushing directly line of sight to the stage from here. So our front house and production room, we're upstairs in the balcony, or the top of the stairs behind the balcony. I'm standing now just inside the worship center doors, and you will see we have our camera positions set up here. This is one of our mobile cameras, so what we run is that we have a sitter camera set up as a fixed position in the ring, and have 2 mobile cameras, one promo rather during worship. So these are our cameras that we're using. Currently have the JVC 4K cams. We've had these for quite a while. You'll see a couple other things I haven't rigged up here. These are a couple of cheap shoulder rigs that I found on Amazon that we've come to find that work really well. Also on here I have a Raspberry Pi Towie that I built, battery charger to be able to power the Towie, and then we're using the iCan Blitz BZ500 for our wireless transmitters. That we found those work really well, have very, very low latency on our video system. Over here at our center main camera, we call this camera 5. This is where we run also another JVC 4K camera. It doesn't have the wireless on it. Because this is a fixed position, we keep it all wired. Gives us a little bit better connectivity. It also has a Towie on it, and we've got the built-in display. Also on our center position camera, we're running a Manfrotto head mounted to a iron pole that I actually have mounted down to the concrete deck to kind of help give it a little bit more stability. Next to camera 5, I have another camera that sits here. It's also one of our mobile cameras, and it has the same shoulder rig, iCam wireless video, and Towie unit as well. This is our stage. I'm currently filming this in December because you can see our Christmas stage set. We have 5 ETC Source 4 adjustable white LED ellipsoidals with the Fresnel lenses on the front of them that comprise our front wash. When we did our lighting upgrade a few years ago, we purchased the retrofit kits for our original Source 4 ellipsoidals. Some of these have been modified with the full color versions. Some of them are white only. And then we've got about 12 of the Martin Mac 250 movers. These have been in our lighting rig for quite some time, much longer than I've been here. So I'm not entirely sure how old they are, but they're great fixtures. They've given us some great flexibility in our lighting system. On the mid-stage lighting bars, you will see we have more of those Mac 250 fixtures, as well as more of the retrofitted ETC ellipsoidals. All of those ellipsoidals on the mid-stage bar are white only. Also on those lighting bars, you will see we have a number of the Verilight VL800 zoom cars that we use for backlighting and accent lighting across our stage. And then we've got more of those up on the upstage bar. We have 6 more of those Mac 250s. All the Mac 250s on the mid-stage and upstage bars are just the spots. All the Mac 250s we're using on the outer bars are the wash lights for our front wash. These 4 lights that we use here on our stage pointing up are the Verilight VL800s. These have them with a manual zoom up it. So the pixel grid lights, we have the Mod Scenes hex grid that is the background of this. Then I took and bought some 12-volt pixel lights, Christmas lights actually, that I pulled the globes off of, and then hot glued a pixel at each intersection on the grid. I'm also running 2 fixed point of view cameras that we've got. This one actually pick up the back line, so we'll have our bass player stand here and our electric guitarist stand over there, and this kind of gives a nice angle shot from there. I have a second one of those that picks up our drummer, usually kind of over here around on the hat and snare kind of thing. So those are great cameras. I really like them because these specifically are the CV566s, so they've got gen lock on them, so I'm able to kind of get those in sync with everything else on our system. Our inner system, because we're using the Allen & Heath D-Live, it allows us the ability to use the ME1 system for our ears. This one here is for our stage rack, backstage. Pardon the little messy back here, it's also kind of a storage closet. But we have at the top of this rack, we have our power distribution, and then the Shure PSM 900 system that connects to our in-ear system. There's the Allen & Heath ME1, our D-Live stage rack, and then we have a London Blue unit that does some of our PA alignment and distribution. These are our amps. Most of those are all DMB D12s. And we got a couple of QSC amps running some 70 volts for the back of the room under balconies. Thank you for watching. I created this to show some of the creative solutions that we have come up with to fit our needs. Here are a couple of really cool elements we have been able to create with our systems over the years. If you have any questions about anything that I have covered here, or how we have something configured, I am happy to help any way that I can. There will be many other videos coming that will dive deeper into each of our specific systems, so subscribe to keep in touch. Thank you.